Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, and the IYT. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's go right into the daily SPY. 86 million on the day. We were up 45 cents or 0.19% on the day. So just a kind of a pause day, guys. We had a pretty good downside the day before, bounced back up. Nice little pause day going into the weekend. July 4th is Tuesday, so Monday's market is open. You might as well just not even show up, or I guess you never know, but it's going to be a very, very quiet day, I'm sure. But SPY, guys, still above the 50 and the 200 MA, still in a good stance, chopping around sideways, bullish manner. Upside targets 250, 250, 350. 255, 260, 265, and then we'll go from there. If this does not start to go up here in the next, week or two, then we'll look for some downside targets. Of course, it's always the 200 MA, especially when we haven't hit it in months, but we also have some pivots down here with the gap fill, stuff like that. So right now, guys, still slightly bullish. Let's see if this thing starts to pop up, and otherwise, we'll see if it goes down, how it fills the gaps and stuff like that. So daily SPY, okay. Weekly SPY, guys, let me get the chart. Weekly SPY, same thing, guys, but this one's above the 20, the 50, and the 200. A little bit extended like we've been talking about, but here's that trend line. Bullish pattern, just like the daily. Targets 250 to 255, right in that area. Let's see if we can continue sideways for the next couple weeks and then the next launch. We get 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks in this consolidation above the MAs. That's really a good pattern for us to pop into the next highs. 250, 255, stuff like that. This pattern fails, though, we'll be fast tracking I'm going to say 204. This gap fill down in this area. November, guys, this is where we're going eventually. Just don't know when. We're grinding high on lower volume, but just keep an eye out for with the earnings coming up on now in the first or the third quarter of the year. So we'll see how these start going off in the next couple weeks. So keep an eye on those. Monthly chart. We did close the month of June. And 7 months up, guys, straight up. A little bit of a doji on the monthly, nothing crazy or anything, but did not close above the all-time high, or the last candle, I should say, above here. I mean, right on top of it. So we'll keep an eye on this one here. This is telling me it needs to come back a little bit more, in the near future. It might take a month or two to come down, just like it took, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months up. It could take, 8 months chopping down. Or if we go sideways on the monthly, next move up possibly, again, 250, 255, 260. So, above the MAs, fine. A little bit stretched like I always say, but keep an eye on the volume in the weeks to come. IWM, guys, let's look at the daily first. Volume 22 million, pretty slow day on the IWM. Came up though, retested these highs, came right back in, still above the MAs. Strong stance, nothing wrong, but down sideways, slightly bearish. But we'll have to see how this pattern plays out. If we get back below the 20 and starts coming in, then we'll look for the 50 and look for more support as it does that. But as of this time, on the weekly close, daily close, we're a little bit more on the bullish side on the IWM. So volume was okay today. We were down a little bit, but again, pretty much just a pause day in the markets. Weekly chart, same thing, going sideways. We talked about up, sideways. This is bullish above the MAs. Again, weekly chart, bigger time frame. Let's get us another 4 or 5 weeks sideways or just chopping up and down above the MAs, then we're setting up. 145 to 150, 155, I wouldn't rule it out if the markets continue higher. If this one slowly starts to creep down, then we're looking for areas of support. This will be one of the big ones here, this trend line here. If we get through that, this is the weekly, guys, so a little bit bigger time frame. I think we can get to 131.89. And then possibly this gap fill down here around 127.40. So there's another one down here, but that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. See, I mean, we're way up here, guys. If we start coming in, we wait for pattern, we start coming down this way, then we'll talk about the gap fill down here. So right now, though, nothing wrong above the MAs, so you have to respect the IWM. It's still lagging, though. We always talk about this one lagging, and it's still lagging. Monthly chart, though, guys, up and sideways. This is a pretty good bullish pattern on the monthly. So it needed to close above the all-time high. It didn't. Let's see if we get more chop or if we get a nice pullback in July. But July, typically, it's hard to say, guys. We got to watch volume. A little bit, other things are coming in with the unwinding of the balance sheet and all that stuff. So these markets could be in for some volatile times the second half of the year. That's in my opinion, of course. So the monthly chart, okay, still above the MAs. Going all right. Look at this. We even got the 200 MA going here. So keep an eye on this one. It has to start to lead. Qs daily chart. Same pattern, guys. Still ugly. Inside bar, bearish pattern. Back below the 50 and the 20 MA. Setting up. Now this is down and sideways in a bearish manner as well. So let's see what this gives us next week with the holiday, with the July 4th, and see if the light volume continues. But watch volume on these markets, guys. This thing picks up. We will definitely be slowly here, guys. We do have a trend line here. We do have a low pivot. If we retest that, crack through it, I still think we're going to the 127 area down in here at the 200 MA. So keep an eye on that. Upside, guys, bullish. You got to get above the MAs, fill this gap, get to the high pivot. Remember, you have a 750 retrace in here too. Let's go from the low to the high. And look at that nice retrace, guys, right to the 750. So we could go back up that way. I wouldn't rule it out, but right now, weak pattern below the MAs. Watch for this thing to set up sideways, and then possibly the next leg down. If we get above these areas, then we have to attack the all-time high and then possibly higher. Higher, 145, 150, 155. That's the Qs. Weekly chart. Everything closed this week. So weekly chart a little bit weak, nothing crazy. We closed right on top of this trend line, bounced up a little bit, came right back in. So we got to keep an eye on this one here. Right now, nothing wrong, guys. Still above the MAs on the weekly, still strong. Pretty good volume this week, though, and we did come down red. So we're kind of an inside bar red pattern here, but slightly in a bullish stance. So we have to watch for this one. Let's see if we could get below this 20 MA and below this trend line. Then we'd still have a gap down here to fill, but that will be a big area for this thing to come back in, and let's see what happens. Bulls, again, you got to attack the all-time high, 145, 150, 155. I'd go with those numbers off this bullish pattern still. Bullish pattern fails, guys. We're going to 106. Markets are going down, so we got some gaps to fill, stuff like that. This is a big trend line too as well. But just be smart in these markets. That's all I'm saying. Monthly chart. Great move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little bit of a stall out, little red candle, but still above the MAs, guys. A little bit stretched. That's the only thing I don't like about these charts. Let's see if we continue sideways. Let's see if it slowly slips into the month of July and then starts heading back down to the 20 MA. Right now, it's not really giving us nothing on the monthly other than we're up here in fantasy land just bouncing around way above the MAs, which eventually we got to slowly come back in. Might take 2-3 months, but target would be around 120 or so. Then ultimately, around 103. Bull, you got to get above the all-time high, then higher prices. Bear, if it starts to slip, these are some areas you could watch for. Qs are all right, though, again. Everything's all right, guys. Volumes remains light. We get that little sell-off day here and there, and everything goes. So right now, it's still okay. The DIA, let's go to the daily. Came in real nice here, closed below. We pretty much closed right maybe 2-3 cents above the 20 MA. So still okay, but down sideways, still chopping around in a bullish manner. A little bit weak on this close, but inside this bar on the daily. So let's watch for pattern. Let's see what this plays out, like I said, in the next week or two, especially on the weekly. Volume was okay today, but again, market's just just nothing special today. Just kind of holding its own. 63 cents up, no great shakes, but weekly chart still above the MAs, floating up, going sideways now, a little bit bigger of a weekly red candle, but nothing to scare you, nothing to say, well, but you got to watch for next week close. If we start closing below here, below the 20 MA on the weekly, all of a sudden we just kind of slip, then let's watch for these pivots. We got a gap fill, stuff like that. We still have this little trend line in here. So you got to respect that. That's going to go up. Here's the next one, guys. So remember all those trend lines when it hit it, curled up, curled up. Well, here's another one. So if we go sideways, hit the trend, that could send it up a little higher. You know the areas, 220, 225, 230. You do have an upsloping trend line. I don't have it in this chart, but I will put this in there. Right around 230 or so, we have a big area. 225. That's a quarter number. And then you got to go 235. So if this thing takes off, this pattern starts to play out, those are your areas you're going to look for some good resistance. So, but this thing's trending up. It's not bad. making higher lows, slowly grinding. We're staying above the MAs. Nothing wrong, guys, on the DIA. Let's go to the monthly. Monthly, this is a little bit stretched, just like the rest of them. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months up, kind of stalling out here, getting a little bit tired, volume slowing down. So watch the monthly. I still think that it can easily pull back to 187, guys, easily. And if it really starts to rumble, 175 area. You got great support down in here. So this last little push, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it or not, but we'll find out soon enough if it was real or not. So let's go into the IYT. This is another one like the IWM. It has to lead. This one started, it almost got going, guys. You know, here's the all-time high up in here. We did almost close above the all-time high. Just missed it, came back in. Still trying to claw its way up. But look at the volume on this one. It was non-existent. It just dried up, and that's why we just kind of pushed up. So even on the SPY was okay, 86 million. But yeah, just watch for this. It's still above the MAs and stuff. Great pattern, chopping around, but it has to start leading, guys. If it recaptures this and then goes for the you know, this trend line up in here at the 173.91 area, I'll put that one in there. Then we'll see. Then we'll see if we could get back to the 175 or all-time highs, 175, 180, 185. Just keep an eye on that one. But yeah, it's just slowly grinding. Here's your all-time high back here. Let's see if we can make it through it. So let's get to the weekly chart. Weekly chart, pretty much the same thing, guys. Just a grind up. This one's 6 weeks up, right into big overhead resistance. It did pop up over the majority of it, though. Let's see if we could get above the all-time high, which is right at 173.88. And if we can make it through that, then we're looking at 175, 180, like I said, and then 185. And who knows? It's kind of a little bit of a W pattern, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one on the weekly. But again, nothing really wrong. Above the MAs, same old story, different day. Monthly chart. Except it's a monthly close on this one. Monthly chart, not bad. We have a little bottoming tail on this part. It's not a true bottoming tail. It'll be more down in this area. But it came in, bounced up, nice follow through, closed almost at the highs on the monthly. Gosh, you know, if this thing doesn't get follow through and close up in here in the end of July, if it starts coming in, then, man, look for the 20 MA and the 143 area. I mean, I'm looking at 150. This thing really comes in. So, but again, you know, we're short this one. If we get 10 bucks, 12, 15 bucks, we'll be out of this one. We're looking for 5 to 10%, and that's it. Move on to the next trade. So, all right, guys, if you'd like this video, go to StockBookie.com, sign up for the free membership. Go to YouTube, subscribe there too as well. You'll get email alerts, all that good stuff to all this stuff, and some educational stuff, some live sessions, and just some fun here at StockBookie.com. All right, guys, thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.